slowing down.
Hold it together. I'll do the heavy lifting. Just stay close.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Meet the Master with me, once again, your host, HotFeet444. Within the last few months, between the time of episode 1 and now episode 2, I have actually received quite a good number of questions to be put on this episode. And the only reason I really haven't made this episode yet is because I haven't exactly had a lot of time to myself to make it, mainly due to the fact that if I did, when people were around, I'd think I was a freaking lunatic. But that aside, I am now here finally bringing you this second episode of Meet the Master. As you can see, I am now showing different gameplay this time, as you are now watching a game called Bulletstorm, which actually does come out this month on February 28th. No, sorry, not February 28th, February 29th, 2011. I actually do have 5 questions here for you today, and I do certainly hope that I can answer them all. The first question comes from a good friend of mine, and he says, what were your first thoughts and reactions when you first saw Felicia for the first time? Well, this question actually goes 2 different ways, considering the fact that the first time I saw Felicia I was like 7 years old. And as you know, 7-year-old kids are not really aroused the cat girls. But I will not lie, when I played Darkstalkers game when I was 14, I took one good look and I went, damn! No lies. Those were the exact words that came out of my mouth when I saw her after, like, what, 3 years. Ever since then, she's been my favorite Capcom character and pretty much my favorite character of all time. I think that pretty much answered your question there, Matt. My second question comes from another good friend of mine, and he says, you say that you have many famous comic series. Which one is your most favorite, and which one was the most fun to make? Well, easily my favorite is our mainstream comic, which is named Anthony the Hedgehog Fire Ties, a series that is almost near its 200th issue, and is most definitely not dying anytime soon. As for the series that was the most fun to make, that is a tie between most of our joke series, since they're all super fun to make. My third question comes from another good friend of mine, and he says, has Golden Rings ever done a comic series regarding the Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts series? If so, what is it called and how can I get it? Well, I hate to say this, but the answer is a big fat no. Not really the biggest fan of the Final Fantasy more tongue twisters, Final Fantasy series, but I may have to consider it. I gotta admit, Final Fantasy 13 wasn't that bad. I mean, it was super freaking long and was about 3 discs long on my Xbox 360, but it wasn't that bad a game. The game that you're watching now is much better. Okay, my fourth question comes from a close friend of mine, and she says, when you make videos, do your group members help you with the ideas or suggestions, or do you do it all on your own? Well, I don't see anyone else here with me, so I guess I'm the one who's making this all on my own. Yeah, pretty much, it's all me, all the time. Everything I do is usually lone wolf, except for the writing parts. That's for everyone. I do it because I enjoy it. I may be the head of a giant comic company that's run by a bunch of fans, but I still like to work alone mostly. And the word there is mostly mainly due to the fact that I do need help on some occasions. Okay, and my final and 5th question of the day is, what is your favorite TV or online show to watch in your spare time? Well, that's actually changed over a bit. My favorite online show as to watch as of lately was most definitely the Red vs. Blue series, as that show is freaking hilarious, and without a doubt Caboose is my favorite character, even though he is a complete moron. But I still love Family Guy and all the other great shows that they have that there is to offer. Okay people, that's it for today's show. I hope you've enjoyed this gameplay of Bulletstorm as it prepares to come out on the Xbox 360 and PS3 on February 29th, 2011. This has been Hoppy444 with episode 2 of Meet the Master. Take care. Until next time, everybody, this has been Hoppy444. Ciao.